And the winner is Rocky, Irwin Winkler and Robert Chardoff, producers.
I'm sure if you clicked on this video, you are familiar with who Sylvester Stallone is. But if not, there's no need to worry. If anything, you would be familiar with the growing woke agenda in the West. You might be thinking, what is so different about Sylvester Stallone that makes him different from other celebrities? Well, he is not buying into this woke agenda. This is what makes Sylvester Stallone different from most other celebs. Sylvester Stallone, born on July 6, 1946 in New York City, is a renowned actor and filmmaker best known for his role as Rocky Balboa. He has won a Golden Globe and is one of 2 actors to star in a box office #1 film across 6 decades. Stallone has a younger brother, Frank, who is also in entertainment. Woke culture in Hollywood emphasizes social justice issues like racism and LGBTQ+ rights, but has sparked debates about its impact on artistic freedom. Most celebrities are too afraid to be labeled controversial if they express their real opinions, and that's where Sylvester is completely different.
Great.
I want to ask you about this. I want to ask you about the movie Barbie.
Everyone used to call me Barbie, so...
No, that's not.
No, actually, the director said, "Do you want to be in the film?" I said, "I'd love to be in the film." And then they took kind of my image, and with Ryan,
yeah,
and it was like amazing. So
the casting of Rachel Zegler, a Latina actress, as Snow White in Disney's live-action adaptation, led to criticism over diverging from the character's European heritage, with some arguing it compromises the story's integrity. Similarly, the casting of black actors in HBO's House of the Dragon, notably Steve Toussaint as Corlys Velaryon, divided fans who felt it strayed from the source material's depiction of the Velaryon family. Supporters argue these choices promote inclusivity and reflect diverse audiences, highlighting tensions surrounding representation in media. He's making waves with his bold statements, and people are loving him for it. Of course, he has also received backlash from those who don't want to face the harsh truth. But this has not stopped Sylvester from calling out the ridiculousness of this ongoing trend of wokeness. With the rise of social media and cancel culture, these so-called wokies think they can just cancel anyone who doesn't meet their standards. Well, these wokies are only fans of these concepts when it comes to their own freedom of speech and delusion. If a person disagrees with something they say, they're quick to attack them. In modern-day Hollywood, celebrities' opinions are so filtered that it's almost impossible to tell what they truly stand for or believe in. Stallone's films often showcase military characters, focusing on themes of honor and sacrifice. He has criticized portrayals that depict the military in a negative light or present soldiers as fundamentally flawed. Instead, he champions narratives that celebrate the principles of duty and loyalty. In an era where military representation faces significant scrutiny, Stallone's viewpoint highlights the complexities and sacrifices that service members experience.
I mean, it's not a comedy, but there's a humorous element in it, in that you are this East Coast guy coming to kind of figure out what the West is all about.
it is. There's a whole different kind of culture out here, which is really what forged a lot of the country.
So, let's try to figure out what exactly Stallone stands for and is keen on defending. This will help us understand where his stance against the extremist woke culture in Hollywood comes from.
It's over, and once you're exposed out there, it's out there. I mean, you're going to have people following you home, and guys like...
We're living in a time when some wokies decide they want to be sensitive about every small thing. People are making up more and more reasons for which others can be canceled. But Stallone is absolutely not buying into this idea, and to put it quite simply, he is a person who realizes the value of free speech and the freedom for individuals to express themselves.
Dialogue was very, very important, but the dialogue didn't move me as much as the actual physical embodiment of overcoming overwhelming odds. And it wasn't until I went, Joseph Campbell beat me to it.
Stallone has made it clear that he isn't going to let any of these woke ideologies dictate his artistic freedom. People who have worked with Stallone and insiders from the industry have revealed that he is not one to let these modern waves of wokeness dictate what happens on his sets. To be honest, it's quite a refreshing sight to witness someone in Hollywood not being afraid to stand up for what they believe in.
Pretty much say that, yeah. I think if you could do a a couple of indies to learn your chops of sorts, but the day of the kind of entrepreneurial life by the seat of the pants, going with your gut instinct, is over. For example, when Rocky would never be made today. This never would have happened. It's over. Majority. The Godfather wouldn't be made today.
So today, you think the motion picture business is changing such that streaming is taking over, and you think the motion picture industry, as you knew it, will thrive?
Well, yeah, I don't think it's going to ever have the golden era that it's had by far, because the audience, the demographic is different. They're now watching films on an iPhone, so it's not as though the theater has become this habitual shrine to coming attractions. And streaming, actually I'm going to do one very, very soon called the Tulsa King, or the King of Tulsa. And it just allows you to breathe, the character to breathe out, to take 10 weeks, which is beautiful. Whereas in film, you have maybe 95 minutes, 110 minutes, and it's all a crapshoot. In other words, with films, you have a James Bond film, $300 million. You have one opening weekend.
A lot of comments made by him have been a center of discussion, and he has received criticism from many people for his word choice. In this interview, he expresses how things have changed in Hollywood, and a lot of iconic classic movies would not be made today. He has been very vocal about his Christian beliefs. You know what's even crazier? Sylvester Stallone, the iconic figure who inspires us to fight for what's right in the boxing ring, has reportedly declined a massive $500 million movie offer from Disney. His reasoning? He's had his fill of what he calls woke crap. While some view this as a missed opportunity, others speculate that Stallone might be looking to avoid yet another sequel, this time not centered on boxing, but rather one with way too much focus on maintaining a politically acceptable stance. Stallone has expressed his dissatisfaction with Hollywood's obsession with reboots and established franchises. He believes that this trend diminishes originality in storytelling. He is someone who believes that everyone should write stories, and it's not just something he bluffs about. Storytelling should be the primary focus in filmmaking. He can also be seen discussing the importance of storytelling in an interview with his daughters, where they mention how Stallone has always encouraged them to write stories, even if they aren't masterpieces. This highlights just how important storytelling is to Sylvester Stallone.
No matter what we do in life, always learn how to write, because regardless of anything, because that's what kind of, I guess.
Yeah, you don't even have to be a good writer.
Exactly.
You just have to write, and eventually your inner thoughts will come to the surface and take care of themselves. And to be a gifted writer, it's freakish. Like, you can be a really gifted actor and a terrible writer.
By prioritizing familiar properties over new concepts, the industry puts more focus on all the wrong thing, especially in an industry where the creativity that has traditionally been the fuel. This viewpoint highlights his conviction that it is essential to develop fresh, genuine narratives that connect deeply with the human experience.
Writer and director, Stallone's approach to storytelling is rooted in the kinds of stories that have been around.
Do you know what Stallone said when he was asked about his latest movie? Well, this doesn't have anything to do with the movie itself.
What's going on with this country in general nowadays? Does that mean, like, your generation? Seriously. Come on. And these pronouns. He, she, him, they, the, boom, bang, ba, bang, cool. You know what my pronoun is? Guess. Time's up. It, as in it, can't take this shit.
It's being widely reported that Stallone is banning any woke influences from his movie set. He reportedly told his crew, "I won't have a bunch of granola moms and their soy boy husbands dictating what I can and can't do on my set. We don't need wokeness here." This statement understandably has gained significant attention, especially given Stallone's anti-woke sentiments expressed through his character in the TV series Tulsa King.
Appreciate it.
It's an interesting show, right? Because it's this New York City, mob boss who...
First of all, does it play well?
Oh yeah, played very well.
Good.
Yeah.
You never know with the editing.
Yeah, no, played very well. I felt riveted.
First of all, there's always, if you're Italian or even a quarter Italian, there's something about Mecca is playing a gangster. It's like, oh, I want to do that with the suit and the tie. There's something about it.
And of course, it's also due to how sensitive the recent atmosphere in Hollywood has been. Despite these issues, more people have been emerging in Hollywood who are taking part in this movement against extremist woke culture. Sylvester Stallone isn't alone in his sentiments against this culture. He's part of a larger trend of anti-woke films that have become popular in recent years, with the Top Gun sequel being a prime example. These films have placed a greater focus on classic values like heroism, nationalism, sacrifice, loyalty, and honor, all grounded in faith, family, and freedom. Stallone's character, Rocky Balboa, is the prime example of these traditional values, which represent the common person. In Rocky, a young boxer from Philadelphia goes up against Apollo Creed, who symbolizes the flashy Hollywood elite. Rocky is a man of the people, known in his neighborhood, while Creed is famous worldwide but feels disconnected from any community. Creed represents globalism, where people may understand the cost of things but never realize their true worth. Meanwhile, Rocky is the one who is different. He is someone who manages to overcome elitism and corporate power.
Any doubts at all? I mean, when on that first day of shooting, when you step out of your caravan or dressing room or whatever to go and appear before the camera, was there never a moment when you thought, my God, am I doing the right thing?
Oh yeah. Up until that time, I was bluffing. They call my bluff. Now, if I go out there and make a fool out of myself.
What we need to do is try to understand the power these seemingly insignificant things hold in the long run in the changing landscape of Hollywood. The main theme of Rocky is about beating the odds and facing the challenges of a wealthy system. The idea that someone outside professional boxing could defeat a champion seems unlikely. Sylvester Stallone has always been genuine in his work, as he shared in a 1977 interview about what inspired him to create the Rocky character.
So I had that kind of dilemma. You might say I had quite a bit of fuel to sit down and write the script. I wrote the script in about 3.5 days, and only because I could hear the wolf at the door, literally. And that part was true, really was.
In recent years, Stallone has increasingly addressed the impact of social media on the film industry. He has raised alarms about the emergence of a mob mentality, in which individuals can swiftly be criticized for their views. Stallone believes this creates an environment that limits creativity and stops open conversation, putting many barriers in front of original storytelling that can have some real value. What are your thoughts and opinions on this changing landscape of Hollywood? Do you think we have gone too far in trying to maintain political correctness? What does this mean for the future of filmmaking? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video informative, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with your friends and family. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any future updates.